Hi guys, this is Tech Howdy. I welcome you to this video tutorial on creating an ASP.NET Core application with Angular 7. In this video tutorial, I will show you how you can add your entire project, including your client app, that's your Angular application, in DevOps Repos from Microsoft Azure. And to do that, the first thing that you want to do is go ahead and search for Azure DevOps and then click on the link, Azure Repos. And then when you are on the Azure page from Microsoft, all you have to do is create your account. It is free to create an account. So once you have created your account, your page will look somewhat like this. Here you can go ahead and edit your organization's name by going to organization settings. If you want to change it, you can do it by going to the settings option here. And here you can change your organization's URL, your setting, and other options. The next thing that you want to do is you want to go ahead and create a project. Inside this project, we are going to add the entire application that we are creating using Angular 7 and ASP.NET Core. At this time, we will also push this client app folder, and we will do that. So first thing that we want to do is go ahead and create an account. Once created, let's give a project a name. So let's give it the same name as our application. The next thing that we want to do is give this project a description so that people can identify it. So let's paste this here, and then I'm going to select public repo. So if you don't want to give people access, then you can select private. And if you want to give them access, you can select public. And in the advanced options, you can select your version control, and you can also select your work item process. So I'm just going to select basic, and here I leave it as Git. Now let's go ahead and create the project. So it takes about few seconds depending on your internet speed. Once the project has been created, you can also change the project's name by clicking on this pencil option here and edit the details. And now the next thing that we want to do is go to this repos option, click on it, and inside the repos option, you'll have a bunch of other options that we can discuss later, but now just pay attention to this window where you can see the options to push your code or the option to clone your code to this repository. But in our case, we are not going to import, we are not going to clone. What we want to do is push our existing code from our repository to this repo here that we just created. Now to do that, the first thing that we want to do is go ahead and go back to our application. So in our application, as we all remember, if you watched my previous video tutorial where we added version control and added this project to our GitHub repository, now we want to remove that GitHub repository branch from this existing project so that we can add our DevOps repo. And to do that, first thing we will do is go to version control, go to manage branches and remotes, and go to remote sources. Click on this origin which says the /github.com. This repo, we are going to just remove it, delete it. Next thing that we want to do is remove the .git folder from our client app and from our existing project, ASP.NET Core. So right click on this and just remove it, the .git folder from client app. So let's delete this. So the next thing that we want to do is right click on our folder, the main solution, and then click on display option and show files. And when we see all the hidden files and folders, we should be able to see the .git folder for our ASP.NET Core app as well. Now we need to delete this, but just before we delete this folder, I need to tell you why we are deleting this .git folder so that you are aware of what is happening here. So inside this .git folder, there is a config file, and inside the config file, we have all information related to our old version control. And that's the reason why we are going to delete this folder which contains information of old version control and all our commits. So let's right click and remove this as well, because we are going to add a .git folder manually using terminal, and I'll show you how to do it. So just delete this, click OK, and now you can just hit refresh and it should be deleted. Now we can go back, right click on the solution, and in the display option again hide the files and folders. Next thing that we want to do is in the terminal, we need to open this solution in the terminal. So right click on our solution, don't click on the project, right click on the solution and then go to tools and open in terminal. Now the solution is open inside the terminal. And now we are going to add some commands here that will create the .git folder for our entire solution. So to do that, first thing that we want to type over here is first command that we need to add is, so the first command we need to add is git init. So let's hit enter. Now we have initialized this empty Git repository. Now the second thing that we need to add as a command is git space add space dot, and then we have added the .git folder as well. Now we need to specify a commit message that we need to display when we are pushing the code in our repository, like what this push or what this commit is about. So let's create that commit message. So git commit space -m open quotation marks, and we can type a message. We can say initial commit and close this quotation mark, hit enter. Now as soon as you hit enter, it has processed the files and folders that are going to be committed. It has not yet pushed it, but as you can see, it has added, lined up all the files and folders to push into our repo. Now the next thing that we want to do is we need to add our remote repository, which is our DevOps, a Microsoft Azure DevOps repository. So let's go ahead and copy this command. Now this command, the link here would be different for you depending on your organization's name, and so make sure you copy your command from your DevOps repository. Now go back to a terminal and paste this command here and hit enter. Now we have added a remote repository to our project, our solution. Next thing that we want to do is run this second command, which is git push -u origin all. So let's copy this and paste this and hit enter. Now all our code has been successfully pushed into our into our DevOps repository on Microsoft Azure. Now if I go ahead to my DevOps repository and refresh this, now as you can see, we have our client app and all other code related to our solution and project in our repository. And if you go to history, you can see the message. It says initial commit. Now if you click on it, you can see details about what code was pushed and so on. So go around, play with it. If you have any questions, use the comment section. I will add the commands that I used in terminal in the description so that you can copy paste it as well. Thank you once again for watching this video tutorial. Please like and subscribe my channel Tech Howdy for more updates. Thank you once again.